On the hunt for comfortable, timeless Western boots? You already know the best place to shop for quality boots is at your local Tecovas store. So stop by Tecovas Nashville at the Mall at Green Hills or on Broadway by Ryman Auditorium. That's right, you now have 2 locations to choose from. Grab a cold one as you shop and get fitted by a pro. Tecovas Nashville is at your service, and you can find your perfectly fitted dream boots with the help of their expert staff. Everyone will be asking where you got your sick new boots, but I won't be asking because I know they must be Tecovas. That's TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all. Today on CityCast Nashville, we've got your Tuesday news roundup for this short holiday week, but be sure to listen to the end for a sneak preview of what's coming up tomorrow. I'm joined by executive producer Whitney Pasterek, and because tonight is a Metro Council night, Nashville Scene columnist and Metro Council expert Nicole Williams is with us too. We'll be talking about what to look out for at tonight's meeting, the exciting new fund the mayor just announced to help us build affordable housing, and the extremely random place where Whitney just found $30. Congratulations, Whitney. Go get some Postmates. CityCast Nashville is presented by our exclusive launch sponsor, Tecovas. It's July 2nd. I'm your host, Grace Fuse, and this is what Nashville's talking about.
Hi, Grace.
Hey, Nicole. Let's just get into it. You are our council expert. What should we be looking for tonight at our council meeting?
So there are quite a few interesting bills on the council agenda tonight. And I think where I wanted to start first is something that a lot of people might not be thinking of, but there's a bill to require a permit to build a fence in Nashville. And I know, Grace, you recently built a fence, right?
I really did. I really did build a fence recently.
Wait, with your own 2 little hands?
No, certainly not. I considered that, but I didn't trust that it would hold up against my Pomeranian and her big ball. She has like a herding ball that she pushes around the yard, and she puts a lot of pressure on that fence. And I was like, I'm not putting a DIY chicken wire fence in there. But yeah, it's actually an adorable little white picket fence.
How did that go for you? How was that process?
It was okay. I mean, I think the thing that was confusing to me that I didn't know before I did it is that the fence has to be like 10 feet back from the road and that you actually can't build it any closer. I mean, it makes sense in terms of, especially since I live like on a corner, it makes sense in terms of visibility that is the case, but I definitely thought that I could have the fence closer to the road. So I was it's definitely a little dinkier than I thought it would be. That's for sure.
Yeah, so that's a really good point, Grace. And it's something that a lot of people, like you said, don't know. And that's actually resulted in a lot of issues with people like inadvertently breaking the rules about how tall your fence can be and where it can be located. Like you said, it has to be 10 feet back. So if that gets flagged by the codes department as an issue, you have to like tear down the fence and rebuild it.
Yeah, what a pain in the butt that would be. It's expensive to get a fence.
Yeah, absolutely. So requiring a permit to build fences, in my opinion, is actually a really good idea because you can help people on the front end to avoid those issues. So it'll take a little bit longer. You'll have to go through codes to apply for a permit, but then hopefully on the back end, you won't have to tear down your fence and rebuild it.
Is this going to pass?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't.
Okay, outstanding. I'll tell you what I'm excited about. Who is going to push back on that for it being heavy government regulations? I always like it when the anti-regulatory council members show themselves.
I want to block the road. I want people to crash into my mailbox because they can't see their turn. Everybody loves replacing a mailbox.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because at the local level, we don't have a lot of folks who are just staunchly anti-regulation.
Yeah.
Because they're really concerned about what's going on in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the people you might see as like anti-regulatory are actually probably the people calling codes on their neighbors.
Sure. Yeah. That's real.
Oh, that tracks.
It's just about control, Nicole.
Yeah. Everything. We need everything to look uniform. Everything has to look good. That's what really matters, aesthetics.
So true. It creeps me out so much when things actually look all the same. When you like go into a neighborhood that was clearly just like plopped down as a neighborhood and every single house is exact.
It's like the Truman Show.
Creeps me out. We won't get into it, but there's a horror movie that's like that and it's terrifying. Speaking of movies, what's up with these appointments to the Arts Commission and why is this going to be deferred probably? What's up with that?
Okay, so first of all, that was an incredible segue,
Thank you,
Grace.
Nicole.
Speaking of movies, I love that. So there are 2 bills that deal with appointments to the Arts Commission and the Music, Film, and Entertainment Commission.
Mhm.
Yes, Nashville's hottest club is the Music, Film, and Entertainment Commission.
Damn right.
Everybody's going to be on that.
Yep.
Yeah, so these are giant commissions. They've each got like 15 members.
Mhm.
And Councilmember Joy Stiles is actually looking to add a council member to both commissions. She wants there to be some more interaction with the council, and she wants the commissions to sort of have a council member as a resource because they've been floundering a little bit.
A little.
Just a little. But I expect both of those to be deferred because the mayor's office has convened a task force to work on boards and commissions. So they'll be looking at a variety of issues from how to make appointments to the commissions to attendance. Like we've got some boards and commissions where people just kind of don't show up, and that creates some serious issues.
Yeah, I mean, I think something that's, as a new commission member, as having recently been elected to the Metro Human Relations Commission, I'm very
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
I'm very pleased that we are getting an orientation because, to be completely honest, I have no idea what I got myself into. Because as we've seen with Metro Arts, even with this community review board stuff, like people might not necessarily know what their responsibilities are or the bounds of their offices.
Yeah, there was an audit actually about the Metro Arts Commission and the department. And one of the things that they talked about was that commission members had trouble sort of differentiating their role from a management role. Like they're supposed to be oversight. They're not managing the day-to-day work. So yeah, and as a member of a Metro board,
Oh, which one are you on?
short-term rental appeals board.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I didn't get any orientation, but that was okay for me because I've watched every single short-term rental appeals board meeting. I expect both of those bills to be deferred as the mayor's office continues to work on that whole thing. Waves hands.
And our mayor's office is also working on Freddie's beloved transit plan that's coming for a second reading. What are we looking forward to there tonight?
So the transit plan, aka Choose How You Move, is on second reading tonight, and it currently has 32 co-sponsors. That's almost the entire council sponsoring it. So it's going to pass easily, but I'll be interested to see if there's any discussion about the plan, any pushback.
Yep.
Right. Because since we last had our conversation here, we spoke with Alicia Haddock on our show about the community review board and the frustrations they're having in terms of getting a new memorandum of understanding, working with Metro Legal, working with the cops. Because there's been no action from the mayor's office on any of that, a lot of leaders in the Black community and a lot of oversight activists and advocates have been stating that they're not going to support the transit referendum until some of their demands are met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they've actually, it's not just we're not going to support it, it's you shouldn't support it either.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting as we move into the fall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're expecting to see this on the ballot for voters to vote on in November. So it'll be interesting to see what Mayor O'Connell does between now and then, whether he sort of engages with those groups or tries to distance himself. I will be looking to see what he does to address what could end up being a pretty sizable opposition to the plan.
It'll be interesting to see if any of that does come up tonight. I mean, look, and when I say their demands, it makes it sound like a hostage situation. The things they're asking for are not unreasonable, right?
Not at
like they
all.
want independent outside counsel so that they're not sharing a lawyer with the police department.
Right.
These are kind of just things that you would logically think would be necessary to get that situation resolved. The situation that we as voters decided we wanted community oversight, the state, potentially in collaboration with the cops, decided, no, you can't have it, and they abolished it. And now we're just sort of left with this ineffectual department that's been defanged. It's, I think overall, an ongoing situation. And to those who say, well, why would they push back on this? I think I would maybe suggest that we all ask ourselves, what other card does anyone have to play in this town?
Exactly. Yeah, there are folks saying, you should separate these two issues. They don't need to be lumped together. But again, like you said, Whitney, if you have leverage, use your leverage. And this is the leverage that we currently have.
All right, I'm going to head to a break here, but when we come back, we're going to hear about some more positive news of some stuff that came out on Friday. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Nicole, Whitney, can you tell me what the Catalyst Fund is?
Ooh, this is exciting. Nicole, take it away.
Yeah, so last week, the mayor's office announced the launch of the Catalyst Fund, and this is a fund to help create and preserve affordable housing. So, as you probably know, land is not cheap in Nashville.
What?
I don't know if this is a revelation to you. I don't know what to say. So it costs money to buy land and to hold on to that land while you're putting together a financing deal to build housing. And the same thing goes for if you want to purchase an existing apartment complex to keep those units affordable. And all of that time and money can kill affordable housing projects. So this Catalyst Fund is going to provide low-interest loans to help developers when they're purchasing and holding on to land and currently affordable housing units while they put together financing.
I love this. And I love that it has the currently affordable housing aspect to it, because if there's anything I've noticed living here in East Nashville over the last 10 years, it's that most of our affordable housing has been torn down and replaced with extraordinarily unaffordable housing. And it's simply because those developers can make a quicker buck on that.
Yeah, and what's really cool about this is that because it's providing loans and not grants, so if you get a grant, you're not paying it back. Because these are loans, it's essentially designed to replenish itself in perpetuity. So as the loans get paid back, that money goes to more loans to more developers developing affordable housing or preserving existing affordable housing. So it's really a unique tool, and it's something we haven't seen in Nashville.
The other thing I love about it is that I noticed that our good friend Jim Gingrich is involved. We might all remember Jim Gingrich as the head of Alliance Bernstein, who spent $2 million to try to become the mayor of Nashville unsuccessfully. But he did have a charming ad where he talked about how he wanted our neighborhoods to stay neighborhoods. So, Nicole, is this him using his powers for good?
I think so. I mean, he knows something about money. I don't know. Alliance Bernstein is money, I guess. So he knows something about money. I don't know what they do. But yeah, he knows something about money. He knows how to make this process work.
That's so good. And I do like the idea of putting people who know about money in charge of the money part. But I also like the idea, and please excuse my radical socialist perspective on this, but sometimes I think people who know how to manage money don't really care so much what happens to people who don't. And so it makes me feel good that there are at least a few rich people in this town who are like, my skills and abilities could be used to better the entire community. Like, more of that, please. Yay.
I love it. Yeah. And we're starting out with $75 million in the fund.
Dang.
Which is also pretty cool.
Well, speaking of funding sources, ladies.
Wow.
I know. Segue. Whitney, what's up with this $30 you found?
Look, okay. I actually think that this is maybe the most hilarious thing that happened to me in the entire month of June. My next door neighbor is moving back to Texas. And as he and his partner were researching, getting everything that they have out of Tennessee, something that they discovered was ClaimItTN.gov, which is a place where you can go and look for unclaimed assets that you may be owed that the state of Tennessee is holding for you. And in doing so, he texted me and said, hello, I was just in ClaimItTN.gov, and I noticed that you have unclaimed property in there. And I was like,
wait, how did he notice that? Did he put your address in?
No, he just started randomly searching the names of people he knew.
That's awesome.
which is adorable.
That's community.
That's
That is
community. So he had randomly searched my name and he said, "You've got money in there." My first thought is, I'm rich, right? My first thought is tropical vacation time for Whitney. I had $30 in there from Tennessee Dental Professionals PC, which I don't know what that is. But clearly I overpaid a dentist at some point. And it was so easy to get the claim filed. It took 3 steps, which I know sounds like I'm selling you something, but it really did. And
You're trying to sell people their own money is what you're trying to do. You are owed this money, folks.
Nicole, I think you've told me before that your dad is super into this.
Yeah, so my dad is a retired accountant. He's also my pro bono financial advisor. So he's always looking for ways to get me money that exists out there. And he sends me emails periodically about checking claimattn.gov. He found me $80 last year.
Damn.
That a hospital owed me.
Nice.
And another cool thing, every state has an unclaimed property division. That's what this is, the unclaimed property division. So if you lived in another state at any point, you can just Google like interstate here, Georgia, unclaimed property division. And you can look up to see if you are owed money by any other organizations in other states.
That's news you can use, folks. That is news you can use. Okay, wait, can we do a fun thought experiment?
Yes.
Let's say you went to claimattn.gov and discovered that the state of Tennessee did in fact have $1 million of your unclaimed property. What would you do with it, Grace?
You know, Whitney, I heard once that the people who are saddest in the world are the ones who won the lottery. And in this way, I would give it away. I would just give it away. I don't want people asking me for my $1 million because I'm going to get so depressed. That's what they say. They say the lottery winners are actually really sad. So,
okay, what would you buy for yourself first before giving the rest of it away?
Fantastic question. You know what? This is so teenage boy of me, but I want a PS5.
Hell yeah.
That's what I would buy myself.
That's a PlayStation 5 for those non-gamers among us.
I love that Nicole doesn't even work here, but she got the note about explaining acronyms.
Yep. Incredible
Okay,
work.
Fantastic. So a PS5, and then she's making a large donation to charity. Nicole, let's say your dad emails and says, "Honey, guess what? I have searched your name. You have $1 million."
Well, first of all, Grace, I want to say that is very noble of you. I have no interest in giving away my $1 million that I could use to buy myself and my partner a bigger house so that our dog has a backyard with a fence, and we'll get a permit if we have to.
Yes, you will. Whitney?
Yeah. No, I've thought about this a lot, Grace. Thank you so much for bringing it back to me. And I'm going to tie this whole thing together, folks. You know what I think I would honestly do is I would find a plot of land where I would be able to build multifamily housing. And I would buy that thing and I would build as many units on it as I possibly could to house the people who I love so that my friends would stop moving away because they can't afford to live here. I would build like a commune for the people I love that we could all afford so that we could stay and keep making Nashville a better place.
I'm considering a commune because the house across the street from me and my next door neighbor are both up for sale. And I think this is a really good opportunity for our commune.
Get in on the ground floor of our commune.
Yep.
Email us at nashville@citycast.fm. And please
commune.
Please include
if you want to join our commune.
Include what skills and abilities you have.
Yes.
Absolutely. I also want to point out again, Whitney, very just like gracious and thoughtful of you. I'm an only child and I'm a Leo. And so I can't help the way that I am.
No, and we wouldn't want you to change it at all, Nicole. You're amazing.
The commune's already being built. Why do I need to build another one?
Yeah, you really don't. You really don't. Actually, we've covered everything with that. You're good. That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. And if you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. Tomorrow we're doing something CityCast has never tried before, with a giant conversation featuring hosts from all 13 of our CityCast cities, talking about one local issue that's impacting other places nationwide. What did I talk about? You'll have to tune in to see. We'll also be off for the 4th, so enjoy your celebrations, and we'll meet you back here on Friday. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Bye.